Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and the unscripted question. A day after she avoided reporters here in Minneapolis, we're asking how accessible Omar is in her home district.
Fox 9's Theo Keith went off in search of the answer. All right, not an easy assignment here, Theo. So how'd you do this one?
Well, Karen, we looked at town hall meetings. Those are events announced through the news media where constituents can show up and ask questions of a public official in public. And Omar appears to trail behind some other members of the Minnesota congressional delegation.
They really don't want to have to deal with the public or answer tough questions.
Hamline University professor David Schultz says it's a shame that not every member of Congress wants to do town halls.
Letting them see you at a town hall meeting, even heckle you. That's part of what the job is about.
So we decided to do a scorecard for the Minnesota delegation.
Since the new term started in January, Republican Tom Emmer has held 9 town halls. Democrats Colin Peterson and Angie Craig 8 and 7, and Republican Jim Hagedorn 5. Meanwhile, Democrats Dean Phillips and Betty McCollum have held 2 town halls apiece, and Republican Pete Stauber 0.
Stauber's spokeswoman says the congressman has held 3 telephone town halls and will hold one in person down the road. The one congresswoman we haven't mentioned is Ilhan Omar, because getting information from her office wasn't as easy. Omar is not frequently available to reporters in Minneapolis, and that leads to scenes like Thursday, where she twice left through side doors at City Hall and avoided questions. But does she do public Q&A town hall meetings? Through a combination of news releases, event announcements, and Google searching, we found one event listed as a town hall. Fox 9 covered that event in July in Minneapolis, where Omar mostly served as the moderator. But Omar's spokesman says it's inaccurate to say she hasn't held any town halls.
Is he in the office?
No, he's not here, unfortunately. He chose to. I heard a rumor that he was down at the county fair.
Town halls have been a hot topic in Minnesota lately. Former Republican Congressman Jason Lewis and Eric Paulson were both criticized for holding telephone town halls. Paulson went about 6 years without holding an in-person town hall, which his critics did not appreciate.
So again, there's this question of just how many town halls Ilhan Omar has held, and Omar's staff has just sent us a list a few minutes ago of 3 events from earlier this year that they consider town halls and that they say the Congresswoman took questions from the public at. We are going through those now. The spokesman for Ilhan Omar says that the Congresswoman is in constant contact with her constituents through a variety of ways, including roundtables, school visits, and hospital visits. Karen?